Friday with the Daily Dose with Des. So I'm gonna get on here and I'm just gonna be talking. I got some topics for y'all though. But can I say that I was right? That I was right. NFL preseason minus the Seahawks and the Raiders, because I don't know what they had going on over there. But Pete Carroll's, return to the sidelines. I feel like Jalen Milroe, he made his debut. We also got to see a little bit of Ashton Genty out there. And I seen some people were like, well, he's not going to be standing straight up. He got a squat now. All those things. So that game was actually a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. But I was right. I was right about all the other games. So we are going to dive into that. And you know what? An NBA player just got arrested and evicted. Or is he arrested or did he get evicted? I think he is evicted. I got to change my title there. But, we'll work on it, okay? But we are going to dive into all of that with this Freestyle Friday with Daily Dose with Des right after this introduction.
Admit it. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it loud. Got you feeling so proud. This is how we do it now. Daily Dose with Des. Got you coming back for more.
Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Because we have more NFL news, we're going to talk about the NBA first, okay? So, boom. Malik Beasley. So, he got evicted. We're going to read about it because I had this article and I was like, boy, you can't stay out of trouble to save your life. What is you doing? What is you doing? He is a free agent, though. So, basically, he was doing gambling. When are the players are going to know and realize, like, you can't be out here gambling? Okay? But he was evicted from his apartment. So it says NBA free agent Malik Beasley. Did I say Malik? Does it? Malik. Okay. Malik Beasley, who was under investigation in a federal gambling probe, was evicted from his high-rise apartment in Detroit on Wednesday. That was 2 days ago. Okay, so it says Beasley's landlord sued him twice. Not once, but twice. Give it to him twice. At least he didn't have to do it 3 times, right? So he was sued twice in Michigan's 36th District Court for a total of $21,505 in unpaid rent. And that's what the records show. Okay? But still, we're going to say allege. But the records show that was the amount. Okay? And it says the first case was dismissed in March, but the court issued an eviction order in the second suit for $7,355 after Beasley failed to respond. Now, you owe them some money and you respond. Okay. And it says no attorney is listed for Beasley in the eviction lawsuit. Steve Haney, who is Beasley's attorney in the federal gambling investigation, basically told ESPN he is not representing him in this matter. He said, I got too much on my plate already. If you get somebody else to do it. Essentially, we said, get somebody else to do it. Beasley's social media posts in the recent weeks indicate that he has been traveling in Europe. He said, you're not getting any money. My money is being spent on vacation. Okay? And I'm already in an investigation with this other lawsuit. So, yeah, y'all ain't getting no money out of me. Come catch me. He doing what Antonio Brown is doing. Okay. Anyway, Beasley, 28, is the third NBA player known to be investigated by the Eastern District of New York for gambling allegations in the last 18 months. The allegations against him are from 2023, 2024, from the season. Okay? And this is when he was with the Milwaukee Bucks. So he was gambling and doing the thing when he was with the Milwaukee Bucks and got caught. Okay? But he hasn't been charged with a crime. So they say we're investigating him, but he hasn't been charged with a crime. So he's like, listen, I'm going to get a lawyer. The best one that my money can pay for. I done gambled and raised this money. Right. So the money that I've gambled and I've earned should be able to pay for this lawyer to get me out of investigation so that way I don't get charged with anything. Okay? But the thing about the feds is, though, you can't be playing with the feds. You cannot be playing with the feds. We just saw what happened to Gilbert Arenas. Okay? You stop playing with the feds. Okay? Y'all taking it too far. Y'all taking your gambling addictions too far. What is the number? 1-800-GAMBLING or whatever. Y'all need to go to Gambling Anonymous, okay? But for you to be evading the investigation, well, not evading the investigation, evading for paying your rent in your high-rise apartment, knowing that you're going to live, where you going to stay? He must got somewhere else to live. He must got somewhere else to go. If he ain't paying the rent, he's not even paying you. But I think it's wrong. You need to go pay your bills, okay? Pay what you owe. If you lived there and you stayed there, even if you didn't live there and you stayed there, your name was on the lease, you owed him the money, just go ahead and pay him. If you got all this money from gambling anyway, just go ahead and pay all your debts, bro. Pay all your debts. Then do whatever you gotta do. But the fact of the matter is, he's been evicted. They didn't actually put him out, but, physically put him out. But nonetheless, he is going to be facing another suit here. And I don't think this one is going to be thrown out. I think that he's going to have to face this one for sure. So they're going to have to pay him. You're going to pay up. You better get that money, honey, and go ahead and pay. Okay? Now, moving on. Now, I seen this about Calvin Anderson. He is currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I was like, what? Why is his face on my screen right now? Okay, I thought he was gonna be another holdout, like Cam, trying to get some more money. Listen, Pittsburgh has enough going on over here, but this is actually a good thing. So he almost died from malaria. Okay, so when I think of malaria, I think of like the getting bit by the mosquitoes over there in Africa. That's what I think of it when I first hear somebody say malaria. Now, there's probably other ways you can get it and everything. Whatever. But he almost died of malaria, and now he's on this journey of really trying to help people, basically like avoid it. Avoid getting sick, avoid having to go through what he went through, and because most people, if you're not, I don't want to say vaccine because I'm not gonna get into that. But if you've been going through it, I don't know. Here we go. But if you've ever been through like something like this, then he's really trying to, bring awareness to it, bring education to it. So I feel like it was a good thing. So I want to be able to talk about it. So Steelers offensive tackle Calvin Anderson nearly died from malaria, and he's now advocating for others to basically save yourself, right? And it says the 6-year pro visited the U.S. Capitol to advocate for more global funding to treat and prevent the disease. And again, like when I hear malaria, I know like in order for you to go over to Africa, you have to get a vaccine shot, and one of those is the malaria vaccine, if I'm not mistaken, right? So he's basically saying we need more global funding, and we need to be able to, put this more on the front line because people do get sick, and, people can very much die. So it says that I don't know why we had to put that he was 6'5" and 300 pounds. Like who was asking for that? Who's asking for that? I just want to know what is he doing? Okay, but they had to make sure they put it up there. He's towering over the U.S. representatives of Congress and stuff. Like, nobody care about that. Just get to the information. Okay, yeah, okay. He's dressed in an all-white ensemble, whatever. Boom. Okay, so it says, what brings Anderson to Washington just a week before NFL training camp kicks off? So he's been doing this, and it's just now like really getting the spotlighting, really getting an article written about it, right? And it says that he is, this cause is really near and dear to his heart. He wants to have more funding for malaria treatment. It's a cause that 2 years ago nearly killed him. Ahead of the 2023 NFL season, Anderson contracted malaria while visiting Nigeria, the ancestral home of his wife, Sherry Lanahan Anderson. After a near-fatal bout with the disease, which threatened his football career, Anderson became an advocate for United to Beat Malaria, a grassroots organization that advocates for global malaria program funding. In partnership with United to Beat Malaria, the 6-year pro is using his stature as an athlete to advocate for malaria funding in the face of deep cuts to foreign aid, including nearly 50% cuts to the malaria programs. And essentially, they just want to say, they're going on to say about, can't say it, but they're in this article. It's on ESPN if you want to read it more. But he's basically going on and on about like why it's important to have this funding for malaria treatment. Now, where I think it could have been, okay. I'm trying to say this to be politically correct, but also very sensitive to the matters. Like, I understand, well, you want more funding for malaria treatment. I get that, right? However, I can also see why any administration or, you know, the Congress or whatever would cut it, because there's not a, in my opinion, and I could be wrong with that. From wrong, chat, please go ahead and put it in the chat and, you know, correct me. But you do not hear a lot of people talking about they gained or got malaria, and you know, you don't really don't hear that. At least I have never heard that. So I was so interested to see what he had to say. Now, obviously, there's a United beat malaria. Not saying that it's wrong, but we also have to look at where our resources going. So like our tax dollars and things like that that is going into this. So if there's only 100 cases a year, then they're not, me thinking, trying to think how these people think in Washington, they're not going to want to fund 500 cases a year if they've only had 100 cases. Not saying that it's right. Not saying that it's right. I'm just saying I could see where their ideologies are coming from as to why they would cut the funding for it. Do I think that it probably needs more funding and research? Absolutely. Do I think that maybe there needs to be something done with the vaccines, or maybe something in that way to try to make it more preventative than trying to be reactive? Absolutely. I think that when you go over to another country and there is, you know, things like malaria and these other diseases that are over there in these countries, then yeah, as American citizens, we should do our due diligence before we travel and do all of those things. I don't know if I got the malaria shot. It didn't say all that. It didn't say all that. Or maybe I didn't read further enough down. But I get both sides of the coin. I think it's super important to be an advocate for it. And the fact of the matter is that he went over there to Nigeria and he contracted it. And he's trying to make sure that any other Americans or any other people, let's say, people that are trying to go over there, they understand what could come. They understand how it could affect your life. And then, of course, what are going to be your treatment options when you get it? Because if you do get it, you need to be able to survive. You need to be able to fight it off and all those things. So I understand. I just want to bring light to it. I think it's really cool what he's trying to do. I don't know if anything's going to come of it. And rightfully, you know, he's doing his thing. And I just wanted to highlight him about that. Okay, but we're going to stop talking about him and we're going to move right on along. Okay? Now, I already talked about Malik. Let's move him off the thread. Now. Anthony, listen, y'all know I drug him. I have no fear. I drug everybody. I drag everybody, shall I say. Anthony Richardson was playing last night in a preseason game, and he got injured trying to fight off a tackle. And when the picture that I saw, which I'm not putting it up on here, okay? All I'm gonna say is you see how my hand is like this? Yeah, his was like I can't even, bent and out to the side. It was ugly. It was ugly. And I just can't help but think that he is so injury prone. So injury prone. Wasn't he just hurt not so long ago? Or he tried, you know, because he did say that. I'm tired. I'm about to sit down. Y'all can have the rest of the game. I'm going to sit down because I'm tired. So, I mean, I want to say that this kid can't catch a break, but some of the things that he did is very much his fault. So, I can't really say that. I also want to say that this kid is the new Tua. It seems like every season, every couple of weeks, or every week, there's something else. There's something new with this kid. This man. I said kid. I'm saying kid like I'm an old lady or something. You know, I ain't an old lady, okay? But no, but something is always wrong with this man. Maybe Anthony, you want to hang it up. You want to hang it up. You want to hang it up. He's injury prone. He was injury prone in Florida. He's injury prone now. Have we seen a full season of him? Have we seen a full season of him? Let me know, chat. Have we seen a full season of him? I don't think we did. I don't think we have. And I don't think we ever will. I'm just Just being honest, you know, because I feel like every time we turn around, it's something else, something more, something going on with this man. He's just not. He's not fit to play. I don't know. So they're going to have to they'll pull out the other options. They're going to pull out the other options. I don't know though, because I didn't fully watch the Colts game, so I don't really know if he started off playing. I think he did. I think he started off playing, and then once he got injured, they brought in somebody else. But if this is supposed to be your QB1 coming in for the season, I don't know. I that's questionable to me. But again, I didn't watch the full game, so I don't know the whole situation. I don't know if he started off and then he got injured and then you put him in. But having your QB1 kick off the game for you, I think was the wrong decision, especially with this guy. If you know that he's injury prone the way that he is, there's no way that he's going to open up. He's not going to open up the season and the game. I can't even get words out. I can't even get words out. But then you also have the question too, is like, you know, does the offensive line like him? Because I did see the video of him getting tackled, and I'm just like, I don't think they like this. I don't think they like the kid too much. He gonna have to figure something else out. He's not likable. I don't know. Maybe they don't like him or something. Or maybe he be trying to run too much and he running the play that he's supposed to be doing. He's not doing the play right, and that's why he got tackled. I don't know, guys. I wasn't there. I didn't watch it, but all I know is this kid is hurt, super injury prone, gonna be out. Might as well hang it up. That's all I gotta say. He be tired anyway. Okay? Now, we're going to go and we're going to talk about the continue on of the NFL games which is coming on tonight. Okay, that's right. I was like, is this right? I was about to be, y'all was about to be mad. So as I said yesterday, we talked about and we did the week 1 preseason preview, as I like to call them. And I told her that the Ravens and the Eagles were going to win. And I said the Seahawks were going to win as well. The Seahawks and the Raiders ended in a tie, 23-23. I don't know why it didn't fathom to me. I never think of a tie, to be honest. I never do. I never think of a tie when it comes to these games. I'm always like, somebody has to win it. Somebody has to win it. I mean, you're going to start off with a tie. Somebody has to win. But, you know, apparently they're doing ties around here now. So it's just, if nobody can win, it's going to be a tie. So that just means that the Raider, I'm saying this lightly. When I said that, it means that the Raiders and the Seahawks, both of their players and all that, they just seem to be on the same very much level of good. Right. So no Seahawks player is better than the Raiders player. Like, they're just really, really good. I did, like I said, Pete Carroll is returning to the sidelines again. So really, excited to see what he's going to be doing and how he's going to contribute. That's the thing. Jalen Milroe, I don't know why people they didn't expect him to be able to be a sentiment of hope or potential, not a sentiment of hope, a sentiment of potential. I don't know what that was about. I don't know why. The kid came from Alabama. I know most people are like, he's supposed to be a running back. No, but he's a quarterback. Okay, he's a quarterback. Okay, y'all said the same thing about Lamar. Y'all said the same thing about Anthony Richardson at some point. Said the same thing about, there's another one, Justin Fields. Okay, they're supposed to be running backs or whatever. They're not. They're quarterbacks. So we just got to let that one go. Let it fly somewhere else, right? So he played pretty well, pretty good. All the articles that I've seen coming in about him today is that he's showing some potential. He's showing that he could be good. He is, smaller size. But I think that when you are a person that comes and you already have so much against you, you have no reason to not fight 10 times harder to be good at what you're doing, right? So I just feel like in his world and his way, he's gonna just be. And I think if he has a great coach, he'll be fine. I didn't think that he was going to come in here and fail. I never thought that. That never once crossed my mind that Jalen Milroe was going to come into the NFL and he was going to be trash. I never thought that. And I didn't really have much thought about him anyway, but I didn't think that. That's just Again, my opinions over here. Now, over there on the Raiders team, I don't really have too many thoughts or too many opinions about the Raiders. I feel like the Raiders are just the Raiders. I feel like they're either going to be really good or really bad, or they might just skate in the middle. So, I mean, can't really say much about that. Bengals and Eagles kind of went as I expected. I felt like the Eagles were going to have an edge on everybody. On everybody. Okay? Like, their seconds and their thirds and their fourths are all real good. You know, they're just good. You can't think about it. They're just good. Okay? So, they have an edge because they have a really great team. Okay? There's nothing else I can say about it. I can't say anything else about it. They're good. They have a great team. They're going to be hard to beat. Even in the preseason, they're going to be hard to beat because their backups and all that are really good. They're really good. So I feel like that's a really great problem to have. It's a great problem to have because if one goes down, you just put another one in there, and it's just, you know, it's like light work. You just keep going. As I say, the show must go on. The show will always go on in Philly because they have spent so much time building such a great team that everybody on the team looks good, right? And that was the argument, like the whole like Jalen Hurts, Cam Newton argument thing. You know, it was like, well, he didn't have to do all the things that I had to do with my limited team, okay? But that's because your team was the way that it was. Philly has built a team around Jalen where they're just asking him to do what he has to do to win the game, to make it happen, to facilitate the win. He doesn't have to, you know, and he does rush and do all that stuff too, but he doesn't necessarily have to do that every single game in order for it to be a successful team, in order for them to get the win. And I think that's kind of like where the roller coaster thing comes in at, because I don't understand how we are comparing the two at all. I really don't understand how we're comparing the two at all, because they both are rightfully great in their own way, and they both have had to make things happen. Cam Newton is the guy that'll get it done for you, who will make it happen for you. I'm not saying Jalen is not. Okay, if y'all start coming for me. I'm just saying that the way that Cam had to play football in order to be the quarterback that he has and probably still is different from Jalen's team, because is different from Jalen, excuse me, because the teams are just absolutely positively different. So I never understood the argument there. I never understood the debate. I never understood the hate either. What we hating on? And if Cam feels that he's not up there in his top 10, top 5, whatever, that is Cam's opinion. That is Cam's opinion. Okay? We can't be mad. Like, I don't understand why we get mad about people's opinions. Okay? So, cool. You think that Jalen's in top 10? And he does not. So, okay. But I think that they have greatness, and they have shown levels of greatness without actually having to be, you know, you just, like I said, you can't get, like, it's kind of like the thing where, like, you can't compete where you can't compare, because they're not comparable. And that's just my opinion. But enough about that. The Eagles are going to be hard to beat. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That's the video. I'm probably going to clip that and put that up. My line sister would love this. She's dire Eagles fan. Okay. Who else? Wester with the Ravens showed up. Hello, superstar. Superstar alert. But LeJohntay Wester. But did we expect anything else? Did we expect anything? You know, there's certain players where I expect the greatness. Period. All of them coming from under Coach Prime, I expect them to be great. I expect them to do well. I expect them to be coachable. I expect them to be mature. I expect them to be hardworking, ready, organized, polished to a certain extent. Same way I just raved about Jimmy Horn, coming from under Coach Prime. You know, Travis Hunter, Shiloh, all of them. You know, everybody that's coming from him, and all the players that are on NFL teams, I expect them to be a certain caliber of player. And I think that even though the media has hated, and it's a thing, y'all can't say that they don't. The media has hated so much, but at the end of the day, the coaching is the coaching. It's kind of like Mike Tomlin when he says the standard is the standard. The standard is literally the standard. What you come and what he's breeding in terms of gentlemen, in terms of players, and just the whole package, that's the expectation. The expectation is nothing less than that. Could it be more? Probably, but it's nothing less than that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I expected what I expected, and that's just, I mean, that's just that, right? I don't really think, I don't really have much to, bad things to say, because it's like, why, you know, why would I? Why would I? I feel like he has done well for himself. Um, yeah, I had to make sure I was saying it right. LeJounte Wester, yeah, he did, So I feel like every player that's going to be out there is going to do his thing. Speaking of Shiloh, right? Shiloh right now is being labeled as, or listed as, the fourth safety. Now, he signed, so there's that. There's no throwing him to the wayside. He's already signed, and he has veterans that are in front of him, which is not a surprise. He has other great players that are in front of him. It's not a surprise. But I don't think that is a discouragement for him. I think that that's going to lead him to continue to fight hard for whatever. And what I love about Shiloh, honestly, is that every time I see the kid, I feel like the guy is just super happy, go lucky. He's happy to be there. He's happy to play. He's happy to be a part. Like, he's just happy to get to play the game of football. And I think that you can't discount that. Whether he's the fourth or the first, I think the attitude that he has is going to be the same. He's just excited. He wants to play. He's living out his dream right now, his wildest dream right now, right? So I didn't get the negativity or the hate with that either, because I'm just like, this kid doesn't seem like kid. I keep calling him kids, y'all. This guy does not seem to be upset about it. He's playing. He's on the team. And how can you be upset? So I do wonder if he is going to. I think he'll definitely get some reps in the first preseason game. Like, why would he not? Y'all. Anyway, tonight we have, like I said yesterday, Falcons and Lions, Panthers and Browns, and then you have the Patriots and Washington. So my predictions for that, I'm gonna say, okay. I'm gonna say, I'm supposed to. Okay, I gotta think about it. I got it. And I'm eating skinny pop. I don't want to hear. Don't talk with your mouth full. Shut up. Okay. How about you send me some skinny pop? Okay. But I'm gonna go Lions, Browns, Commanders. Y'all agree? To me, the Patriots, they may surprise us. But Washington, to me, is coming in off of a really good season. I feel like they only get better from here. So that's the only reason I'm saying Commanders. I'm looking at the picture on here because I'm not looking at the camera, but that's the only reason why I say Commanders, because I feel like they're coming off of a good season. I don't feel like they got it. I don't feel like they went down in terms of quality of play, in terms of like being good. So I feel like they're gonna come out and they're gonna show their what they're working with. So I think that they're gonna be good. I think they're gonna win. The only reason why I say the Browns is, I don't know why I say the Browns. I don't know. I guess because the Panthers actually might win, because from what I understand, the Panthers have added some good quality players over there, especially the 2s and the 3s that are hungry for a spot. I don't know. Maybe this one ends in a tie. Maybe we get our second tie of the preseason. I don't know. That one's hard. I feel like the Panthers were barely, at some point last season, they were barely losing. You know, they were losing, you know, very, very, very close games. So I feel like they only have to get better from here. If they tank, that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue. I think the Lions, again, I like the Lions. I like what Dan Campbell's doing over there. I feel like they've been doing it, and I feel like this is their season. And again, I know preseason doesn't, you know, doesn't give us the end all be all what they're gonna look like during the season, but it kind of gives us a little preview, right? So I feel like this is the Lions' year to either get it done or not. I feel like they've been so close for the last 3 seasons now. They gotta show us something. They gotta show us something. You know, like when Denzel said, "I'm leaving here with something." That's the attitude they need to have. I'm leaving here with something. We gotta make something shake. Something gotta happen. So I feel like the Lions, this is their year to either live up to the hype and do all the things that you know that you can do, and you have really no reason to not be where, you know, top quality, top dog. I feel like this is their year to really show up. You know, just shut up and show up. And I don't mean it like that, but you get what I'm saying. Like just put your money where your mouth is and just show us. So I feel like the Lions are going to come out with that attitude, and I feel like even though it is a preseason game, I feel like they can out-edge the Falcons just a little bit. The Falcons are another, you know, I think all these games are going to be really, really, really good, tight-knit games. I think the Falcons are probably, they've gotten better as well, but I just feel like the Lions, it's their time to, like, show up. Saturday's games, there's a lot more going on, so I'm not going to get on show early. I'm going to... Is there a lot? I'm going to get on probably after the game so we can like talk through them, so we can talk about Friday's games and Saturday's games like all in one, so it can be like one just NFL recap show. So I'm gonna call and predict my teams for that. So I think it's gonna be from the games I see, I think it's gonna be Bills, Rams. Ooh. Okay. Oh my gosh. I like it better when there's only like 3. There's like so many games. Okay. Okay. Ooh, this is hard. Bills. Vikings. I feel like my Steelers might let me down. Okay. Vikings, Jags, Packers, 49ers. Kansas City, Tampa Bay, Rams. I already said Bills, but Bills. Chargers, Dolphins. I know those are Sunday, but I'm just gonna say it. Okay, that's what I got. What y'all think, chat? Let me know. There's some good games week 1, I can't say. I don't know. When I see Caleb Williams, I want to see Caleb Williams. I want to see how he do. Just how he looking. So I can, debate if I'm going to drag him or not. I think he has potential to be great. I just think that, I think that he had too much hype last season coming in. Yeah. But all right. I won't hear yapping enough. Freestyle. Just giving y'all whatever I got. Why does Stephen A. Smith think that LeBron should return to the Cavs in his career in Cleveland? Okay. Who is the most feared quarterback in the NFL right now? Are we going to argue about that? I think most would probably say Jalen Hurts. And I think it's feared because of his team that's around him too. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. You gotta tell me what you think about that. Cowboys. Oh, this happened just a little while ago. Cowboys guard Jones. He has a neck injury and he is on IR. That's not what you need. Rob Jones' first season with the Dallas Cowboys has come to an end in training camp. After Jones suffered a broken bone in his neck July 28th in the first padded practice. The Cowboys placed the guard on injury reserve on Friday. Jones was giving a 2 to 3 month recovery period, but his return to the field is not certain. So the Cowboys opted to place him on injury reserve. Yeah, that sucks. It says that he would have been eligible to return this season had he been on the roster until the final cuts after this month. So, the roster and all that gets cut down and everything. Jones signed a 1-year deal with the Cowboys worth $3.7 million and with $3 million guaranteed. So, this is going to get him money, right? Okay. Well, that sucks for him. Oh, another one. Chargers lose Rashawn Slater with ruptured patella tendon. Los Angeles Chargers Pro Bowl left tackle Rashawn Slater will miss the 2025 season with a ruptured patella tendon suffered in practice Thursday. He's going to go go through surgery and he's going to be put on IR. What is up? I feel like the injuries, I mean, I guess I can keep this up here because it is still talking just about NFL in general. But I feel like the injuries now have really escalated and really took in height when it comes to the NFL and especially in practice. You getting people like, Shorty broke his neck in training camp. It ain't funny, but dog. What is happening? What is happening? Are the bodies just not as conditioned as they used to be? You can't predict injuries. We know we can't predict injuries. But breaking your neck in practice is crazy to me. Crazy. Rupturing your patella, crazy in practice. What is going on? What is the recovery? Where's the strength and conditioning at? Does that not exist? What is happening? There's been quite a few other injuries too that just happened in practice. You're at practice, you're in practice, and you're going down. Am I just picking up on this because I'm just picking up on it, or has it always been a thing? What is happening? I wouldn't want to play nobody football, Jill. You don't even get to see the field. Although we always eating chips, type vibes. You don't even get to see the field because you're injured. You don't even get to make the roster because you're injured in practice. Jill, I remember in cheer, we used to get hurt and we used to get injured too. So I understand that things happen in practice. I get that, but I feel like a lot of these injuries are just building up so quickly, or maybe it's just me now, just me paying attention to it. But dudes, y'all not stretching? The neck thing is crazy. That's crazy to me. I'm sending prayers up. That is crazy to me. That is, yeah. Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch was on the sidelines. Listen. I love me some Marshawn Lynch. I do. What is he doing on the sidelines? When he become a photographer? think somebody said, just take the camera, take the vest. Do your thing, Marshawn. Do your thing. I loved it, but I also was hating a little bit. I'm a hater. I'm a hater. I'm hating. I'm hating. I'm hating a little bit. Because do you know how hard it is for media to get on those sidelines? Do you know how hard it is? I'm gonna say it one more time. Do you know how hard it is for media to get on those sidelines? Now, mind you, I may sit here and I may talk to y'all like this here, right? But I've been a videography and photography apprentice for 3 seasons now, okay? And I still can't get on the sidelines. Still can't get on the sidelines. Okay, I take pictures and videos and do all that stuff that everybody do. What Marshawn was doing, I do that, right? And there's plenty of other people who've been doing it for years upon years upon years, right? 5 years, 10 years, 15, 7, 11, you know? Cool. And it's so hard to get a media credential to get on those sidelines that when you see it, like when I see Marshawn Lynch, it made my heart like so full. And then it filled with rage. And then it filled with hate. I'm just being honest with y'all. I'm being honest with y'all. Right? Let me see if I can find this picture because I'm just being honest. Because I was like, Marshawn Lynch. And he was just enjoying himself. He was enjoying himself. And then he stiffed armed. He stiffed armed one of the players because they was about to run into him. And he did it too, like, he literally just, wow, like, you know, he's still strong, doing his thing. Just doing his thing, y'all. Just doing his thing. Yeah, let me bring it up here for y'all. Y'all can see Marshawn. Y'all can see Mr. Lynch. And the video, I know the photo gonna come up big. I know it is, because that's what it usually do. That's what it did yesterday. So boom. Oh, it actually did. It didn't go out that big. So let me take this one off. Boom. Marshawn. And like I said, it made my heart go like, oh, look at Marshawn taking on something else. You know, he's been doing a lot. Like, I feel like, where was he at? Was he in Tampa Bay? Or he was on the boat? Their thing, like their pregame, and he did like the horn. You know, he's a minority owner with the Seattle Kraken. He does podcasting. He does a lot of business ventures and things. I think that he could be a great mentor to some of the younger athletes out here. You know, I think what he's done outside of his career and him like just thoroughly enjoying his retirement, I think is so awesome and so cool to see him involved in so many different things. And before I even knew he was a minority owner of the Seattle Kraken, I love the Seattle Kraken. Because again, if you watch my videos before, you've seen me talk about Seattle Kraken. I've even worn my Seattle Kraken t-shirt. But now I'm definitely a fan, and I'm going to forever be a fan if he's minority owner of it. But seeing the things that he has done within his career, and then outside of, obviously, within retirement, I'm going to say his career as a whole, because I feel like he's still working and doing things, right? It's so inspirational, and it's like, you know, you can see where you've come from. And really, like, he's a natural-born hustler. And I mean it in the most positive way, because he hasn't given up on anything. It's like he's doing everything that he wants to do, everything he puts his mind up to, everything that he just thinks about in his head, he goes and does it. And I think that's super duper awesome. So again, seeing him on the field, being an NFL photographer, it's so cool, right? Seattle at that. And then seeing him doing the stiff arm is like, I still got it. Okay? I know he didn't get back out there on that field, but he still got it nonetheless. So I loved it. I also hated it at the same time. I was a little hater. You know. I wonder if I can slide and be like, Marshawn, can you bring me on can you let me borrow your camera? You let me borrow your pass for a game or two. But I think it's super cool. Again, I love seeing what he's doing and how he's actually enjoying retirement. So I did want to leave off the show with that. Marshawn. Okay. You know, y'all, I'm going to get off of here because I've been chatting it up enough. I've been freestyling enough already. So again, Freestyle Friday. Okay, Freestyle Friday. Daily Dose with Daz. Thank y'all so much for being here. Tomorrow I will be back at my home studio, you know, or wherever I be. Wherever I be, that's where I'm gonna be. I got my equipment, so no matter where I'm at, I'm gonna do the show. We're gonna do the show. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in and being here and talking with me. I'm trying to get it more as like, when I just get on here, I need to have the images and stuff for y'all too, but I just want to get on here. Sometimes I just want to talk. Sometimes I just want to talk. You know, I feel like I be trying to be all cookie cutter with the show, but trying to make it a certain time length and get off of here. But I'm streaming, and you gonna see me on a daily basis. Y'all gonna see me on a daily basis. I can't get up here and do the same boring stuff every day. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this content, if you like these videos, if you just like me, you know, make sure you like and share and subscribe on all social media platforms. At PG Love Sports, you can type in Pretty Girls Love Sports. This is the Daily Dose with Daz, and I will see y'all. Mañana is Monday? Mañana is chat. What is it? I'm gonna figure it out.